Hello students, I hope you are doing extremely well. My name is Girish Raj Purohit and today we're gonna discuss about paper pattern and strategy and some tips regarding your 10th board English. So in this video we'll discuss about what are the best ways to attempt the complete paper and in what manner you can ensure your marks full out of full. That's going to be our strategy. Like if we talk about English in particular, then this is the subject which has got a great scope for you to score maximum marks, and there are going to be some tips by which you'll be able to utilize the maximum potential which you have got. And then our main focus is going to be what is the paper pattern, what kind of questions are going to be there in the paper, and what should be the exact way to attempt the paper, and what are the topics which you need to give which you need to give priority while studying, and what are the topics which are no more there in the syllabus after the recent guidelines from government. All right, so now let's get started with the first slide. So yeah, this is all what we are going to discuss about updated syllabus and examination pattern. So the first thing which I would like to discuss is the deleted section. So these are the things which you don't need to study for this examination point of view. If you talk about grammar, then use of passive voice, it is not there in your syllabus. If you talk about clauses, again it is not there, and preposition. So these are the things which are not there in your syllabus in grammar particular. Then literature, how to tell wild animals, trees, fog, misspell the author for Annie Grigore, and footprints without feet from this book, the Midnight Visitor, A Question of Trust, the book that saved the earth. So there is a complete list of the things which you don't need to study as far as this exam is concerned. All right. The grammar, if you talk about this thing, it is going to be a useful thing in your day-to-day life and in for your further preparation, but then for this exam particularly you don't need to worry about, because these three topics are not there in your syllabus. And from literature, I have told you how to tell wild animals, trees, fog, misspell the author for Annie Grigore, the Midnight Visitor, A Question of Trust, and the book that saved the earth. These are the things which are not there in your syllabus. Now, so here I have got a sample question paper for you. What kind of paper? And this is the exact paper which has been prescribed by CBSE on its website. So I have taken the same paper for your reference so that it will be easier for you to understand, and you'll be able to relate it from what are the recent updates from board and what are the things which are new in the pattern. All right, so let's get started with the paper. Alright, so this is the paper which has been prescribed by CBSE. So let's explore this paper. So the first thing is going to be part A, and that is of 40 marks. If you talk about part A, then it is of 40 marks, and there is a question about, there is this reading section, and the first question is of a passage. So a passage is given to you, and on the basis of this passage, these are the questions. Let me tell. Okay, so on the basis of the reading of that above given passage, we have to give the answers of these questions. And the beauty of this question is that all the questions which are sub questions in this are multiple choice questions. So there isn't anything like any open-ended question that you have to find the answer from the given passage. The only thing which you need to think about is how to relate the exact option from the question, how to relate the exact option from the given passage. Okay, so this is going to be the pattern for all the questions which are there. And again, one more thing, there will be 12 questions, and out of those 12 questions you have to answer any 10. So the choice is there. All right, moving on. Question number 2. So this is question number 2. Again, one more passage is there, and in this passage there is lots of information. There can be facts. Okay, so yes, these are the things. Here we go. As I was talking about, like there can be facts. So yes, these are facts. Okay, so lots of data is there. You have to relate this data, you have to analyze this data, and the questions are going to be on the basis, or the questions are going to be based on this given data. So lots of facts and facts will be there. So you don't need to get confused with this, like there are numbers and how to adjust and how to give a conclusion regarding the information which is given in numbers. So nothing to be worried about. Just first thing, what should be the exact strategy to attempt such questions? In first go, don't look at the questions which are given. Just read the passage in one go. Just read it thoroughly, or you can say skim it. Okay, once you have done that, then read the questions. Okay, first passage done. Second, what are the questions? Then in third reading, try to read the passage by keeping the questions in your mind. Like these are the questions, and now you should be of the approach to find out the answers of the question. Alright, if you read the questions first and then you read the passage and then you try to find out the answers, it can be a troublesome thing for you. It cannot be an easy way. So but then again, there are multiple ways, and depends on person to person which strategy you are going to adopt. But according to my own experience, this is the thing which I would like to advise, that first skim the passage, then read the questions, and then try to relate the questions with the given passage. I mean, in third reading, you need to be of the approach that yes, now I am going to find out the answers from the given passage. All right. So again, a passage full of information, and then okay, in the world of tourism, this and this, UN an observation shared that emerging economies this, and then again the data is given, so you have to relate it. All right, so again in that question number 2, which is full of facts, you have given multiple option type questions, and there is one more thing. Again, you have to attempt any 10 questions out of given 12. So the paper is going to be a very smooth journey for you, because the board has given lots of relaxation in terms of options. Like again and again you are getting options, and out of given options you have to select limited things. You have to attempt limited things. So that's going to be an advantage for you. And the 50% paper is going to be of multiple choice questions, and then rest 50% is going to be of subjective questions. So every kind of strategy is there, and every kind of every kind of we can say preparation is going to be tested in this paper. Alright, and the only thing which you need to think about regarding this paper is that you should be of the approach to attempt the attempt paper fully. I mean, you should attempt full paper, then definitely it will increase your chances to get good marks. Because trust me, English is a very scoring subject, and you just need to think this thing in your mind, that yes, I need to maintain my speed so that I can attempt maximum possible questions in a given time frame. Alright, so while practicing, always keep this thing in your mind, that yes, I have to attempt maximum possible questions and I need to maintain my speed. So definitely it is going to be a scoring one for you. Next, moving on, third question onwards, there is going to be your literature section, and this is not going to be, I mean, the literature section, it's not like that all the questions after question number 2 are from literature. Again, here you have got sections, like in part A there is some section which is from pure reading. In part A in part A itself, there is some section which is from literature, and in part B, so all kind of questions they have tried to cover from all domains, be it literature, be it grammar, be it reading. So this is the literature question, question number 3. Read the extract given below and attempt any one by answering the questions that follow. And second is from the glimpses of India. This the baker of Goa thing is there. Okay, so this is the given passage, and you have to attempt questions from this. So what kind of questions are there again? So the kind of questions are, every question is a multiple choice question. Moving on, this is not you don't need to worry about, that was for, okay. So here we go. Question number 4. In question number 4, there is a stanza given to you, and that this is it is from a poem. So, but he is locked in a concrete cell. So I believe this is from a tiger in the zoo, and you have to attempt this one. And the options are, 4 options are given. So just read this and then read the questions. And if you have gone through the poetry section in a good manner, definitely you will be able to attempt each and every question from this section. So the emphasis is on books as well. And this is the rhyming scheme. So what is the rhyming scheme of the given stanzas? I believe you have idea about the rhyming scheme. So yes, it is going to be of 1 mark question. So just go through the rhyming scheme thing, and you'll be able to attempt this question. And then, so these are 5 questions, and again there is an option. The first one was from the tiger in the zoo, or if you don't if you are not comfortable with that one, then definitely you can attempt this one, which is an option for you. So my advice for this would be, don't do any kind of hurry while attempting the questions. Just read the question paper thoroughly. Okay, or if you are not reading the complete question paper, at least read the complete question and the given option which is there, the question which is after or, like this. So you'll be able to clearly identify that which is the question which I'll be able to do in a comfort manner. And if you are facing any trouble in that, then just leave that, move on to the next one, because CBSE has given you lots of options. So now it's up to you how to utilize such options. All right, next is, so again there are the questions on the basis of that stanza. If you're not comfortable with that one, which was from the tiger in the zoo, you can go ahead with this. Now question number 5th. So this is from grammatical section. So in grammar, the one more section is there, in which you have to do that fill in the blanks things, right? And then again 4 options are there for this, and in this, choose the correct options to fill in the blanks to complete the note about the Wangla festival of Meghalaya. So this is a note, or you can say a paragraph written over there, and you have to read it thoroughly. And then what should be the correct the exact strategy to attempt this question? Just read the paragraph. You will come to know about what tense is there, what's the theme of that paragraph, right? And then definitely you will be able to relate it with the given options. For example, the Wangla, and then consider this to be a blank space. Okay, so these are all blank spaces, 1, 2, and then 3. All right, and you have to attempt and you have to fill in these blank spaces, and one blank space is of 1 mark. So a very simple question, it will give you 3 marks, and it is based on grammar. Okay, the Wangla, and then the options for this question are here. So out of these options, you have to select the correct option, or the option which is appropriate over here. So this is the manner. Right, moving on now. Okay, so as we are done with question number 5th, now in question number 6, choose the correct options to fill in the blanks to complete Venu's narration. So this question is going to be of 3 marks. I mean 3 questions are there, 1 mark for each question. and there is an image given to you which is trying to create a kind of, which is trying to give us a hint of a communication going on. All right, so there is a kind of conversation, and on the basis of that you have to fill these blank spaces, 1, 2 and 3. These are kind of blank spaces for you, and for these there are options. Let's say for this, and this is for visually impaired candidates, when I blank space. So for this, the correct option is given here. Out of these you have to select any one which is the most appropriate one. In this manner you have to attempt 3 questions, the first, second and third. I hope you are comfortable with that as well. So now, in these kind of questions, every angle of grammar is tested indirectly. Are you getting it? I mean, so far we haven't seen any direct question like fill in the blanks with the exact with the most appropriate option, or the questions directly like these questions are on models, these questions are on determinants. Nothing like that is there. But then the real application of such topics is there. So yes, the application point of view is very important, that just the theoretical knowledge is not going to be useful for this. You need to understand what are the applications of such topics in our day-to-day life. Definitely you will be able to attempt such questions. Now, and it's not like that just this is there. There is one more section in which the direct questions are there. So I'm really impressed with the scheme. Like the board is trying to test the first the application based things, and then the second which is the direct things, the direct applications of those grammatical topics. Though everything is based on application, but then again from a student point of view, the things can be divided in the things can be divided in two sets. The first set is which is directly like fill in the blanks, 4 options. It can be from tense, it can be from repeated speech, and it can be from determinants, it can be from models, anything. And second is there is a kind of conversation, or there is a long passage, there is a long paragraph, and there are some blank spaces, and then you have to fill the correct option. All right, and you will not be blank in these questions because the options are given to you, so you just have to relate it. Moving on, next question is question number 7th, and here you go. So this is the question where the direct questions are asked to you. Fill in the blanks by choosing the correct options for any 4 of the 6 sentences given below. So the recently I was talking about the same, that it's not that only application based questions are there, the direct questions are there. You blank space consult the source if you need groups of synonyms for those words. So what is the appropriate model you have to use? And then in this, everybody blank space keen to participate in the upcoming Nukkad Natak are, has, is, were. Out of these 4 options you have to select any one. So what is going to be the correct one? Everybody is. Okay, so the subject verb agreement you can say, or the determiners, whatever you want to say. This is from subject verb agreement. There could be a question from determiners, there could be a question from models, there could be a question from anything, the 4 or 5 topics which are there in your syllabus. So this is the section from which you will get direct questions. Okay, the good news is that blank space, whatever the options are there. All right, moving on. So these are 6 questions. Out of 6 you have to attempt any 4 questions. Then here we go, section B, which is your writing section, and that is of 10 marks. From here this pure writing section is of 10 marks, and attempt any one of the following in 100 to 120 words. That is going to be of 5 marks. Don't worry, once we are done with the discussion of the paper, and then I'll be telling you, I'll be discussing about what is the syllabus. You know, what are the things which can be there in your paper, and not what are the things which can be there in your paper out of the given syllabus. Okay, so we'll discuss from that point of view as well. But right now my approach is to discuss about the paper, and I am trying to confine myself in this only, that okay, this is the paper and what is the exact location of which kind of question. Let's say this is the writing question, so this is the location for this question. You are Tabassum or Tarun, a resident of Satyanagar colony, Bhubaneswar, Orissa. You have noticed that some residents of your colony are repeatedly floating quarantine rules laid out during the outbreak of COVID-19 pandemic. Write a letter to the SHO of the local police station drawing attention towards the same. Explain how such acts impact the health of the community and request immediate intervention and strict action. The first question. Second option, you are Vaijanti or Vijay from Prakasham Nagar, Sikandarabad, Andhra Pradesh. Write a letter to Book Haven Store requesting home delivery of the books, stationery, and art materials you had ordered telephonically. Share the reason for being unable to pick up the goods in person. Confirm your address details and a convenient time slot. So, two letters are there. One is a formal official letter and second is a business letter. All right, so that is going to be of 5 marks. Out of these two you have to attempt any one. All right, so this is again an added liberty for you, like which one to attempt. All right, and next is question number 9. So attempt any one of the following in 100 to 120 words. The chart below displays data about, okay, this is which could be a new thing for you, about the number of digital devices purchased in Rishunagar across the years 2015 to 2019. Write a paragraph analyzing the given data. So this is the data given to you. All right, this is simply a graph. You have to study this, you have to make observations out of it, and then you don't need to be afraid of anything since it is a graph. And what's the role of a graph in English? So it is just for you to understand, it is to check your understanding of data. Like lots of data is given to you, and whether you are able to summarize that in your own words, or at least you are able to explain that data in a lucid manner. So this kind of skills are going to be tested. So just read the graph, just observe the graph, what is there, what are the parameters. So if we see on this parameter, so these are the years and these are the figures in thousands devices. All right, and then the overall study is of smartphones and computers. Okay, so the first block is of like in 2015. So what can be done in this, like any mark, this is the marked year, let's say 2015, and first try to visualize, or we can say first try to summarize the graph for your own understanding. Like in this year, if I pick this point, okay, then what is the information given in this? So in 2015, this is the point, and what does this show? Black. So this shows computers, right? So this is the data associated with computers, and any random point, let's say this point I have picked, and then so what's the information given over here? So this is about the year 2017, right? And then this is about the devices, or all right, the numbers which are given, and that are in thousands. So read everything very carefully, like figures in thousands. So this is not 20, this is 20,000, right? So be careful with this, and then you have to write in words whatever is asked, taking you back to the question like what's been asked over here. So as we can see, the chart displays data about the number of digital devices purchased in Rushinagar across the years 2015 and 19, and you are supposed to write a paragraph analyzing the given data. So just the data is there in this graph, and you have to do the analysis of this. Read the following excerpt from an article that appeared in the magazine section of a local daily. The ban on single-use plastic is impractical. The purpose of articles like bags and packaging is ultimately to make human life easier. Plastic articles do this well, so they shouldn't be banned. This is the statement given from this is the statement from a piece of article of, be it any newspaper or a magazine, anything. So what we are supposed to do here, we are supposed to write a paragraph analyzing the given argument. So this is the argument, and you have to stick to the points which are given here. This is the reference which you have to this is the reference, or this is something you have to uh, write your paragraph on the basis of that. You could think about what alternative explanations might weaken the given conclusion and include rational evidence that would strengthen, counter the given argument. So whatever is asked in the question on the basis of above given statement or paragraph, you have to write it. It could be either in favor or either in against, but then your thoughts, so your thoughts should be rational enough, your thoughts should be judicial. Okay, and it's not like write anything, you know. The parameters have changed. It's not just a simple essay, that write an essay on plastic ban. Not like that. Okay, more or less it is about your writing, but then the skills which are being tested. So it becomes very crucial for you to be aware of what is being asked, and in this is the reference which is given to you, and you just have to follow that. Very simple. This was the alternative to that analytical paragraph. Both the paragraphs are analytical, and then so one more thing is there which which I must highlight, that in question which was before that, question number 8th. So that was about a letter, and a letter is given, and you have to write a letter, and as an alternative there is again a letter. So it's not that either a letter or an analytical paragraph will be there. No, both the things will be there. Two options will be there for the letter, and two options will be there for the analytical paragraph. So you have to prepare both the things. So far this is the update from the board, and if there is going to be any radical changes, then you need to be ready for that as well. But then it is expected that they are going to follow the pattern which they have described, and according to the pattern, this is the thing: prepare the letter as well as the analytical paragraph. Analytical paragraph, go for that one which is given, which is on the basis of a graph. That sounds easier, rather than, because everything is given to you, just the mode of just the mode of communication is different, you know. Just the mode of conveying things is different. The thing which is given to you is in a graphical manner, is in the form of a graph, and you have to write it in the form of statements, in the form of words. So just the summarization is just the summary is there which you are supposed to write. Because in second one there could be, again, the second one is also easy. I should not be biased to one particular question, this one is easy and this one is not. Again, the second one is easy, but then it's totally up to you, the area you are comfortable, you can go ahead with that. From here it is about literature section, and question number 10, 11, 12, 13 which are going to be there. Question number 10, answer any two questions in 20 to 30 words each from A and B respectively. So this is section A. One question is of 2 marks. You are supposed to attempt any 2 questions. Out of given 3, you are supposed to attempt any 2. Every question comes with an alternative. You know, if you look at the paper prescribed from CBSE, every question is there with a given alternative. So this one particularly, if we discuss how Peggy justify her cruel behavior towards Vanda, describe the custard's reaction was different from that of others on seeing the pirate, and then who according to Nelson Mandela is a courageous man. So out of these 3 you have to attempt any 2. It's totally up to you. Okay, and why did Oliver Lutkin's mother laugh as she chased him and Bill away? So this is from the hack driver, and this is from Nelson Mandela, and this is from Custard, the tale of Custard dragon. And then List any characteristics of Bholi's teacher with reference to her first day at school. Give a reason for your answer. So, if you are if you study the I mean literature chapters, then you might have an idea of this, like from what chapter, what are the probable questions. And in every chapter there are some questions which are most probable from examination point of view, because those questions are, we can say, the soul of that chapter, like this one. List any one characteristic of Bholi's teacher. So the chief protagonist in this is Bholi and her teacher. So the teacher has played a very important life in change has played a very important role in changing Bholi's life. So it becomes of a great importance, and that's being asked in the paper as well. So every chapter there is going to be a flavor of questions, so that you need to work upon. You cannot just like prepare all the questions, and you don't have to, in fact, because something which is not going to be asked in the exam, so that will not be that cannot be called a smart strategy if you prepare everything over there. All right. And that in literature, because I am discussing this because this is the biggest point of discussion among student fraternity, that how to study literature. It's a very easy thing. Every chapter has got its own flavor, and there are the kind of questions, and what kind of questions the exam what kind of the questions the examiner can ask. Okay. So like this one. Annie writes that it was fortunate that Mr. Casing took the joke the right way. Why does she feel so? Here, in question number 11, answer any two questions in 40 to 50 words, 20 to 30 words, and then 40 to 50 words. The marks for that one, two question each mark. I mean 2 marks each question. And then here, any two you have to attempt, and then 3 marks is for 3 marks are allotted to one question. Okay, if you attempt 2 questions, 3 are given. Justify the poet's allusion to Rapunzel in Amanda. And then again, from this you have to attempt any 2 question. It's not like you have to attempt either A or B. You have to attempt both the things. Let me clear that as well for you. What's the case in this? Answer any 2 questions in 40 to 50 words each from A and B. So this is not going to be the option like either A or B. No. A any 2, B any 2. Right? Same was the case with the question previous one. And then in question number 12, answer any one of the following in 100 to 120 words. So this is the question of 5 marks. Right? Long answer type question, you can say, as it is of 100 to 120 words. And then there are 2 options. The first one is from the proposal, and then second one is from, this is the paragraph given to you. And then read the extract given below and comment on the difference in the nature of help both the characters of these 2 stories received. Suddenly I came out of the clouds and saw the straight lines of light in front of me as it was runway and airport. I was safe. I turned to look for my friend in the black airplane, but the sky was empty. The black airplane. And then all through the night Lancho thought only of his one hope, a letter to God. So these are the name of the chapters which are given. Read the extracts given below and comment on the differences in the nature of help both the characters of these 2 stories received. Okay, for this, you need to understand the chapter in a wholesome manner. If you have the idea of the chapter, what's the theme of the chapter, what's the conclusion of the chapter, what's the message, if there is any message, everything should be crystal clear. Then only you will be able to compare such ideas. Otherwise it will not go, otherwise it is not going to be an easier thing for you. So again and again I say that you don't need to mug up questions and answers literally. If you study the chapter in a good manner, if you understand the idea of the chapter, if you understand the conclusion, if you understand the character sketch of all the characters which are there in the chapter, definitely you will be able to attempt any kind of question from that one. So that should be the strategy for literature. Not like you are reading each and every question and you are trying to mug it up, like in this black aeroplane this happens and that happens, and in a letter to God there are these many people, and this is the storyline. No, you cannot you cannot mug up each and everything literally. You just need to understand what's the theme, what's the basic idea, what's the what kind of references are given, and what kind of role each and every character is playing, and then the storyline, the way story moves ahead. Okay, and then finally, question number 13, that is, answer any one of the following in 100 to 120 words. Hari Singh says he knew. It is again a question of 5 marks. Hari Singh says he knew it, but neither his lips nor his eyes showed anything. So, this is from the thief's story. Anil successfully addressed the situation by not addressing it at all. Elaborate based on your reading of the thief's story. To attempt this question, if you don't to attempt this question, you need to have the idea of the chapter, that is the thief story, not just mere the idea. What's the reasoning behind activities? If Anil is doing something, what's his mindset? What is the trying to what's the kind of message he's trying to give us? What the kind of example he's trying to set? These kind of things you need to be prepared with to answer such questions. Same is the case with question number B, which is in an alternative to that, to this one, 13a. Read the following quote by an American author, E. Hale. I'm only one, but I am one. I cannot do everything, but I can do something, and I will not let what I cannot do interfere with what I do. Bowley's evolution from a dumb cow to a masterpiece supports the given quote. Justify. Pure literature is there. You need to understand what's the idea of Bowley, what's the idea of this chapter Bholi, and what's the theme of this, what are the comments on society, what are the comments on mindset of people, you know and then you need to understand the context, like the story is in Indian context, whether it is relevant to that or not, and in and what kind of reference it has taken. The reference has been from a quote. This is the quote given to you. So if you don't have the idea of this complete if you don't have the complete idea of this chapter Bholi, and if you have just prepared what are the questions and answers, you won't be able to answer such questions. So again and again, the advice is going to be the same. Read the chapters and then try to relate, try to understand the context, try to understand the theme, and then try to understand the what are the roles which are being played by the characters of that story or any poem. All right. So yes, this was all about the complete paper. So having said that, we have completed the discussion of paper. Okay, so as we have discussed the complete paper itself, now we'll have a quick look uh, into paper pattern, like what's the paper pattern, and at which particular question number what kind of question is going to be there. Overall, there are going to be 13 questions, and section A is from question number 1 to question number 7, wherein which there are going to be all questions of objective type, and section B is from question number 8 to question number 13, and they are of subjective type questions. 40 marks for section A and 40 marks for section B. Moving on, question number 1 to 2, these are of reading, 20 marks. Okay, each question will have 12 MCQs based on the unseen passage. Students will be asked to attempt any 10 questions out of the 12 in each. Question number question number first, 10 questions out of 12. Question number second, 10 questions out of 12. That's it. Okay, and that is going to be of 20 marks, as in 10 marks for A, 10 marks for question number 1, and 10 marks for question number 2. And that is going to be passage based question. Question number 3 and 4, they are going to be of literature, and in this each question will have two parts, A and B, out of which students will have to attempt any one. Each part will have each part will have objective type questions based on the given extracts. The objective type questions will be mainly of MCQ type. Mainly of MCQ types means, so far this is the information, that the questions are going to be of MCQ type, objective type. Okay, so extracts are there and you have to find out the answers from there. Question number 5 and 7, grammar based. Okay, each question will have fill in the blanks type questions, wherein which students will have to fill in the blanks by choosing the correct options. Internal choice will be provided in each question. 10 marks, question number 5 to 7. Okay, then question number 8 to 9. Question number 8 will have letter writing based on given issue. It will be of 5 marks. And question number 9 will have paragraph writing based on the given set of instructions. It will be of 5 marks. Attention please, the question number 8 and 9, it could be a confusion for you, like there will be a letter, in or, in option, in alternate, there will be a paragraph. Nothing like that is there. 2 letters are there, out of which you have to attempt any one. 2 paragraphs are there, out of which you have to attempt any one. Be very clear in this. Okay, this was the case with question number 8 and question number 9, and that is of 10 marks in total. 5 marks for question number 8 and 5 marks for question number 9. I hope it is totally clear to you. Moving on, question number 10 to 13. Moving on, question number 10 to 13, that is going to be of literature section, and from here all the questions are going to be from your textbooks. Okay, and we have discussed like what kind of questions, what's the pattern of questions exactly. And then question number 10 is of 8 marks. It will have 2 parts, A and B, both being compulsory. Part A is of 4 marks, part B is of 4 marks. As we have seen in the paper, there are going to be 3 questions in part A, out of which you have to select, out of which you have to attempt any 2. There are going to be 2 questions in part B, out of there are going to be 3 questions, and out of which you have to attempt any 2. So internal choices are everywhere. And then each part will have short answer type questions of 2 marks each from the class 10th English literature textbooks. Moving on, question number 11, that is going to be of 12 marks. Okay, and will have 2 parts, A and B. Both being compulsory, you have to attempt both the parts, part A as well as part B. There are going to be internal choices in part A and part B, but then both the parts are compulsory. Okay, so each part will have short answer type questions of 3 marks each from the class 10th. So what I would like to make a point over here, that though it sounds very easy that okay, we'll do this thing and that thing and we'll attempt the paper, but then a humble advice would be to read the instructions very carefully. It could be a confusion for you, like okay, part A and part B, attempt any one. No, read the instructions very carefully. It is clearly mentioned that you have to attempt, or you have to consider internal choices for one part particularly, not out of A or B. A you have to attempt, B you have to attempt. The choice is applicable on A as well as on B, but then it is not like out of A or B. Right? Be very clear with that in this section particularly. And then question number 12, that is of 5 marks, will have 2 parts, A and B, out of which students will have to attempt any one. Clear cut option, long answer type kind of thing is there. One question of 5 mark, and there is one question of 5 marks, and there is another question of 5 marks. You have to attempt any one. Then question number 13 will also have 2 parts, A and B, out of which students will have to attempt any one. 2 parts as in there are going to be 2 questions, very simple, and out of which you have to attempt any one question. So the clear cut choices are in 12 and 13. You have to attempt just one question, and every question is going to be of 5 marks. Alright, so finally we have completed 2 sections in this session. The first one was a detailed study of the paper prescribed by CBSE, and then we have discussed about the paper pattern as in question number and the kind of question asked at that particular place. So this was all about the CBSE class 10th board preparation tips and strategy. I hope it is going to be a useful session for you. I wish you all the very best for your upcoming examinations. Having said that, thank you so much. Have a nice time ahead.